What's going on, horror fanatics? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button and subscribe to the channel, as well as shoot that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the Scream 6 teaser trailer that released earlier this morning and give you all my reaction and break down the trailer, as well as discuss a photo that was released from Scream 6 from Entertainment Weekly. But before we get into it, let's hit that intro.
You are now watching I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel.
For the devil's
I shot him 6 times! Okay everyone, so I'm going to start off with my reaction to the Scream 6 trailer. Obviously it was reported yesterday that the trailer will be released early this morning, and we were not disappointed because we got exactly what we were promised. So with that being said, I do want to say this teaser trailer was really well done by Paramount and by Radio Silence, not giving so much away but giving just a little bit to keep us talking and to keep us speculating, as well as some nice Easter eggs in reference to Samara Weaving, as well as a character from Scream 4, and we're going to get into all these details here in the video. But I just wanted to say that, you know, this was a really well done trailer from Radio Silence and from Paramount. It felt like an old school trailer, y'all. Didn't feel like one of these new school trailers that gives so much away. I know this is just a teaser. It's only a little bit of a little over a minute long, what have you. It's not the official like full-length trailer, but even some teaser trailers give a little bit too much of the movie in this day and age. So really well done by Paramount and by Radio Silence, not giving so much away in this teaser trailer, but giving just enough clues to keep us talking and speculating on what could happen leading into the film. The trailer starts off with an overview and a skyline shot on what is supposed to be New York City. I say supposed to be because we know for a fact that this movie was shot in Montreal, Canada. However, the timeline and the story is supposed to be taking place in New York City, so definitely a nice nod to that in the first few seconds of the trailer. We then pan over to what looks like the downtown life of New York City, and we see a few people on the sidewalk carrying on what have you, and they seem to be dressed up in Halloween costumes. This lines up with the details that we have gotten leading into the film, that this setting in this timeline for Scream 6 will be taking place around Halloween season. Now, whether or not this is taking place on Halloween night or just a few days leading into Halloween and maybe the final act of Scream 6 will take place on Halloween night remains to be seen. But obviously these people dressed up in costume confirm that this setting in Scream 6 will take place around Halloween season. We then shoot over and pan over two scenes from the subway station where we see a bunch of people walking down the stairs or what have you. This is where we get some of these Easter eggs in reference to Samara Weaving and from her character in Ready or Not. We see a young woman dressed in that costume from that movie. But another Easter egg that we get in this photo is this young woman who's on a cell phone that's right below this woman who's wearing the Samara Weaving costume from Ready or Not. Now, you may look at this as, oh, this is just a young woman who's just on her cell phone. Actually, this is a Easter egg and a reference to Olivia's character in Scream 4. Obviously, Olivia is a character from Scream 4 who is best friends with Kirby Reed and Jill Roberts, who was killed off in that movie. And we know for a fact that Scream 6 is going to have some Scream 4 references. Obviously, Hayden Panettiere returning as Kirby Reed is the biggest one. So we know for a fact that there's going to be some Scream 4 elements in Scream 6. And this little Easter egg only confirms that to be true. And it's a nice little Easter egg and a nice little reference to Olivia's character in Scream 4. Shout out to Discover Montreal for discovering that Easter egg in the trailer of Olivia from Scream 4 in that reference, as many of us, including myself, I'll admit, might have missed that in the trailer. We probably wouldn't have picked up on that on first look. You also get a nice Easter egg callback to Scream 1996 with the 96th Street decal there in the train station. We then pan over to the subway scene where we then see 3/4 of our core 4, 3/4 of our returning characters from Scream 5, and Sam Carpenter, Chad Meeks Martin, and Tara Carpenter in this scene on the subway train. Now, who we also see is Josh Segura, who is a new character to the franchise. Obviously, we do not have Josh's character name just yet. Those details have not been totally revealed just yet. But the fact that he is in this shot in the trailer with 3/4 of our core 4 lets us know that he is going to have some type of significant role, at least in my opinion, in Scream 6. I don't think this character, would be put into this scene if he's not going to have any type of significant value in this movie. Could he be Samantha Carpenter's new boyfriend? That's very possible. A lot of us seem to think so. Could it be just a friend of Chad Meeks Martin? That's very possible as well. Whoever Josh Segura's character is, the fact that he is in this shot with 3/4 of the core 4 lets us know that he is going to be somewhat of a significant character to watch out for in Scream 6. Another thing to obviously take notice is that obviously Mindy Meeks Martin is not in this shot with the other remaining characters that are returning from Scream 5. More on Mindy later. There's a reason for that. We get Mindy in the trailer a little bit later on. Another thing to take note of in this shot of the trailer, now obviously you have to widen it out. I try to widen it out as best as I could. I couldn't get the best shot of it. But if you look at Chad and Samantha, they seem to be looking down at something or someone. Well, I'm going to say someone, and that someone to me is Kirby Reed. The reason why I think that is Kirby Reed is because later on in this shot in the trailer where you see Tara with the look of fear in her eyes, you see somebody standing next to her with blonde hair that has a leather coat. Obviously, in that leaked set photo that we got of Kirby Reed with Dermot Mulroney, Jack Champion, and the Core 4, we see that she is wearing a leather coat in that leaked photo. So that leads me to believe that Kirby Reed is on this train with Samantha, with Chad, with Josh Segura, and with Sarah Carpenter in this scene of the trailer, and that she is, even though we don't see her face, she obviously is in this trailer and she is in this scene. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this scene, if this scene is in the movie, again guys, hopefully we don't get, hopefully this isn't one of those deleted scenes that won't be in the movie. I don't think that's the case. But with that being said, Kirby Reed is in this shot. You just do not see her face. Now, in the shot of our characters on the train, you see that they have a terrified look on their faces. As you've seen in the previous overlay, you can see that Tara looks completely terrified in that expression on her face. Why they have this expression on their faces is because there are multiple people with the Ghostface costume on this train. Now, as you can see in this overlay, the one that is looking directly at them, it seems, this is not, I don't believe this will be a Ghostface killer. This won't be actually somebody who is a Ghostface killer. And the reason why I believe that, as I circle it here in this overlay, is you can see that there is no glove over the hand. And I highly doubt that any one of these Ghostface killers, like a legit Ghostface killer, would be rocking bare hand. Obviously, because that would leave fingerprints and would leave evidence giving away their identity. So I don't believe that this Ghostface that, these characters are looking at on the train, I don't believe that this Ghostface is one of the Ghostface killers. However, the fact that we have multiple Ghostfaces in one scene on this train is letting us know that Radio Silence is listening to what the fans are talking about. As we know, this has been a very big topic in the community of having more than 2 Ghostface killers in Scream 6 or possibly Scream 7, or possibly there's a cult of Ghostfaces going on, what have you. Be that as it may, the fact that we see multiple people dressed up in the Ghostface costume lets us know that Radio Silence is listening to the fans and teases that we could potentially get more than 2 Ghostface killers in Scream 6. We then pan over to a shot of Mindy Meeks Martin on the train, but she is by herself, which tells us that these scenes that we got with her brother Chad, Sam, Tara, Josh Segura, and Kirby Reed on the train is separate scenes. There are 2 different scenes spliced together. So that tells us that in this scene that obviously Mindy is all by her lonesome on the train. And you see a ghost face looking directly at her. And as the trailer goes on in these sequences involving Mandy, you see that slowly but surely this ghost face keeps walking towards her as the lights flicker. Then you see the ghost face attack her, and then at the end of the trailer, you hear the knife stab into Mindy. You have to listen for it, but you hear the knife stab into Mindy, and then the end credits of the trailer comes on and what have you. But guys, why this is important is because now this is 2 for 2. That Radio Silence in their trailers in Scream 5 and now in Scream 6 has hinted that a main character could potentially die within the movie. They did this exact same thing with David Arquette's character Dewey Riley in Scream 5. In the Scream 5 trailer, they gave us a lot of breadcrumbs that insinuated that Dewey was going to be killed off, and he was killed off. They did the same exact thing now with Mindy Meeks Martin's character with Jasmine Savoy Brown in the Scream 6 trailer. You hear that knife, you hear the knife stab into her at the end. You don't see it, but you hear it, which insinuates and gives us a breadcrumb that could lead us to think that Mindy Meeks Martin could potentially be off in Scream 6. Now, I'm going to say it right here, right now. Do I believe that her character will be killed off in Scream 6? No, I do not. I think that this was done purposely to get us thinking that the same thing that happened to Dewey could happen to Mindy in Scream 6, and to get us talking and to think that we could be witnessing some deja vu in terms of the trailer and in terms of leaving breadcrumbs of a main character's death in the trailer. However, again, I do not believe that Mindy Meeks Martin will be killed in Scream 6. I think this is just something to get us talking about the Mindy Meeks Martin character and to get us speculating on whether she will live or die. But I'm saying it right here, right now, I do not believe that the character will die in Scream 6. However, I do think that she is obviously going to be attacked. She will be stabbed. She may be left for dead. That's what I'm going to go with. I think she will be left for dead, but she will survive her wounds and make it into the 7th installment. That obviously remains to be seen, but that is what I am going with, guys. We now move on to the Entertainment Weekly photo that came out directly after the trailer release. That shows a Ghostface killer standing in what seems to be someone's house holding a knife. Now, what stands out about this Ghostface killer? Well, obviously what stands out is that this Ghostface killer is wearing that old worn mask that has been one of the biggest, if not the biggest, topic of conversation over the last month in regards to Scream 6 news. We got news that we will be getting a Ghostface killer that will be wearing an older, worn out Ghostface mask, and obviously we did get a shot of this in the bodega. But in this photo here from Entertainment Weekly, we get an even better shot. We get even more attention to detail on what the mask looked like. And I must say, this is just a job well done. A fantastic job on the attention to detail to this mask, showing the dirt around it, showing some of the cracks in it, showing us that this is an old worn out mask, and further giving us speculative points that this could be a potential returning Ghostface killer that maybe survived a previous Scream film. Obviously, I talked about this on the channel. I believe that this could be potentially Stu Macher. I will be doing a Stu Macher video showcasing why I believe this could be him underneath this Ghostface mask, and just giving more context on why I believe that theory to be true. Another thing to take notice of about this Ghostface killer, which would make you believe this could be Stu Macher as well, this Ghostface killer looks stout. This Ghostface killer looks like this is somebody who is tall, has a tall frame. This Ghostface killer doesn't look like the Ghostface killer who could potentially be under 6 feet or under 5 feet 8, I would say. You know, this Ghostface killer definitely looks stout. They look formed. This looks like, honestly, this could be a man. Now, I'm not trying to sit there and undermine any women out there or anything like that. I will say that countless times in my videos when I talk about height of the Ghostface killer, when I talk about weight and all that stuff. This is not to shade any of you lovely ladies out there. But In this photo, this looks like this definitely is a guy underneath the Ghostface costume. This looks like someone who has some build, and it looks like somebody who has some length to their frame. Whether or not this is going to be Matthew Lillard remains to be seen. I personally believe that this Ghostface killer in this photo, who is wearing the old worn out mask, we know they have the bullet holes in the robe that we've seen in the bodega. I don't think that this killer is going to be revealed in Scream 6. I think they will be revealed in Scream 7, but obviously that remains to be seen. But obviously this is a really, really, really nice shot of this Ghostface killer in this scene. Another thing to take note of is obviously the background. It looks like this Ghostface killer is standing in somebody's house. Whose house could it be? Again, guys, this could potentially be Gale Weathers' house. We have gotten rumors that Ghostface will be attacking her at her home, and given the backdrop of this photo, this looks like this would be the home of somebody who is, middle-aged, an older person's home. This doesn't look like somebody's house that would be somebody who is young, somebody who is, in college or what have you. This doesn't look like one of our core fours dorm rooms or what have you, if they are going to be in college or if they have an apartment. This looks like somebody's house who could be in their 40s, early 50s, what have you, maybe Gale Weathers. And again, if you listen to my video last night, or if you watch any of my previous Scream videos, then you know that I believe that Gale Weathers could be killed in Scream 6. And in my opinion, this shot of Ghostface standing in somebody's house is Ghostface standing in Gale Weathers' house. Whether this Ghostface kills Gale Weathers off obviously remains to be seen, but I'm going to stick by my theory that this Ghostface killer in this shot is standing in Gale Weathers' house. And to cap off the end of the trailer, you see the M in Scream fill up in blood to form out the Roman numeral V1 for the Scream 6 title. Nice touch for sure. We already kind of seen this leading into other logos, fan design logos, all that stuff leading into the trailer. So it doesn't surprise me that this is, how it turned out. But it's definitely a nice touch. But what's really telling to me at the end of this trailer is that you see that old worn Ghostface mask in the background of the end of the trailer, which tells me that this Ghostface killer is going to be probably the main Ghostface killer in Scream 6. But okay, everyone, that is it for this video. Leave a comment below and share your overall thoughts on the Scream 6 trailer, as well as share your thoughts on, do you believe that the trailer followed the same formula as Scream 5's trailer in terms of leaving breadcrumbs that a main character could potentially be killed off in Scream 6, as well as share your thoughts on that Entertainment Weekly photo that shows Ghostface standing in someone's house. Do you agree that this could be a scene in Gale Weathers' home, or do you think this is another location that this Ghostface killer with the old worn mask is at in this scene? Leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you all. Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I'm your host, Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button. It helps out with the YouTube algorithm a ton. As well as if you're a new viewer, shoot that subscribe button and shoot that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.